Today, bitter Northwest rivals go at it. Oregon State travels to Seattle and takes on Washington in a Pac-10 conference battle.
The twins from Stanford in high school, he's got tremendous potential. It's just a question of him fulfilling that potential.
Appleby gets on the floor, and we're going to get a held ball, and it's going to be the Huskies.
You had to do it in practice through your defensive effort, so you don't have necessarily your best offensive lineup playing the bulk of the minutes these days for the Washington Huskies. Thus, their point totals have gone down. Reaching, playing defense with the hands as opposed to moving the feet, playing with the body. Good execution.
I'll tell you what, when Ryan Appleby gets it going, he can be a real problem.
And Kevin Mouton, the fine assistant coach for Oregon State, talked to us this morning about that. Not allowing him to develop a rhythm. You've got to keep on his outside hip coming off of screens. Don't allow him to swing through, face up, and bury the jump shots.
Marcel Johnson jump stop, gets in the lane, still can't get one to go. He's 0 for 3 today, coming off of 0 for 4. But a nice little reverse off the offensive rebound by Johnson.
Amari Johnson's really been a pleasant surprise for this basketball team. I saw him play at Dorsey High School his senior year, and he was a solid ball player, but I didn't know how that would translate to this level of basketball. So far, it's translated extremely well.
There was Marcel Jones on this, not Marcel Johnson. He's not in the game. Morris sticks it.
Talking about offensive freedom, Tim Morris has been emancipated since transferring from Stanford to Washington, playing for his second cousin, Lorenzo Romar. And he has done a great job. 8 of his past 10 games have been double-figure games for Tim Morris. Johnson
steps on the end line. Big loss to UCLA at Pauley last week. We'll see them tomorrow.
And Ben Howland said he thought that the winner of the Pac-10 this season would have 4 or 5 losses. I don't think he would have penciled in USC at Pauley Pavilion as being one of UCLA's losses. But
maybe not.
But that's just how competitive this conference is going to be this season.
There's a lob and no finish that time, but a foul. Pondexter got up there, but couldn't finish the shot. He'll go to the free throw line.
And what a second half. Speaking of that USC-UCLA game, O.J. Mayo, 14 of his 16 points came in the second half. He's a young man who's really been under the microscope because of all the hype, all the hoopla. But he delivered down the stretch for his team today.
A lot of heroes for USC. Yep. Hackett had a nice ball game.
Davon Jefferson.
Yep.
I respect Tim Floyd so much for sitting him down against Washington State. He responded today with a big-time game for USC.
Got a lane violation against John Brockman.
I mean, as hard as points are to come by so far in this game, you don't want any freebies wiped away because of a foot fault.
Schaftenauer in the ball game along with Ricky Klatt. That's Hampton, little jump hook. Will that be goaltending? Yes.
Tremendous physical skills, and right there, that's an obvious goaltender as the ball is coming down. But he's another guy who's just kind of got to learn how to focus and understand the value of really putting in the work during the offseason. He could become a tremendous player in the Pac-10.
Yeah, according to Low Romar, getting better every week, though.
Yeah.
Brockman on a full takedown gets it to Pondexter. Dentman in the ball game at the point now.
Well, Brian, Amani started this season off in the starting lineup, and that might have been a mistake, giving him a little bit too much too early.
Wow, too hard, big time follow.
Showed him a tape of Bernard King dropping 60 points and said, hey, I want you to have that kind of attitude out on the floor. Not scoring 60, but kind of get that kind of motor when you're playing the game of basketball.
Got this down for Hampton. Hampton, a little jump hook. Right idea, wrong execution. Rebound down to the hands of Brian Ammoning again.
And Calvin Hampton dropped like between 30 and 35 pounds since last season. He's got great footwork. Just a question of can he translate that into a consistent score on the floor.
Nice little move by Brian Ammoning that time too, but he couldn't finish it. Morris chases it down, saves for Brockman.
Got to get out of the lane.
Yep. Just got out. There's a real battle down on the block between Hampton and Brockman right now. Morris!
You know, he's kind of a do-everything kind of a guy at Stanford, and again, inserted into the lineup because of his defensive ability, and he has really come on strong offensively.
Little floater, and dropping that time for Calvin Haynes.
Calvin Haynes out of Taft High School in Los Angeles. He was a backcourt teammate as a 10th grader with former UCLA great Jordan Farmar, now doing his thing with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Not shy about shooting the basketball.
Yeah, every time he gets it, he is looking to get Calvin off first. That's what the coaches told us. He's going to put it on the floor and kind of probe and see what he's got.
Pondexter got in the lane, scores from the elbow.
Tremendous talent. I mean, the sky is the limit for a guy with his ability, his size, the body type. You look at his body type, I mean, he's got defensive stopper written all over him. Now, but his mind, he's got the eraser, erasing that. don't write that all over me. Write offensive player.
Ricky Klatt misses the three. Had a pretty good look at it. Here's Pondexter coming the other way. Spins into the lane.
Nice.
Leaves nicely for Brockman. Brockman doesn't finish, though. Schaftenauer tries to save it. Does for Klatt.
To Pondexter's credit, he doesn't grimace, doesn't show any facial expression, getting mad at Brockman for blowing an assist.
There's Haynes again.
Yeah. Well,
I got this one.
I never met a shot he didn't like. That's that old saying.
Good or bad.
Good or bad or indifferent.
Brian Ammoning backing Schaftenauer down. Missed the shot.
The game's developed a lot more fluid of a rhythm offensively for both teams. I suspect that we'll see a lot more points put up on the board these final 11 minutes of the first half.
But, you know, and I think it speaks to what we were talking about Oregon State. If you walked into this building right now, didn't know either of these teams, you wouldn't be able to tell which had the winning record and which hasn't won a conference game.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And I mean, the fact that Washington, great performance against Oregon the other night, but against Washington State, Oregon State was right there. I mean, the first 11 minutes, they were competitive. They did everything the coaching staff asked. They just couldn't sustain it.
Brockman turnaround. Nothing Hampton could do about that. 7 different guys have scored now for Washington. They lead by 1. Hampton trying to back Brockman down. Turnaround goes.
I tell you, I mean, this is a kid that lost 30 to 35 pounds, and the footwork is there. 6'10", 250-pound sophomore out of Fort Washington, Maryland, a high school teammate of Sam Young, who plays for Pittsburgh. So he was always the guy, you know, Calvin, go set a screen. Calvin, go rebound. Calvin, don't shoot. but now he's getting some confidence in his offensive skills.
Dentman, contested 3, not an easy.
They get a defensive presence out on the floor, and sometimes he's not able to sustain that kind of intensity that the coaching staff is looking for. Good play.
Sure was. And Brockman ahead of everybody. Can't handle it.
Calvin Hampton had knocked down a couple of tough face-up moves that he's worked extremely hard on, and then you pull him out of the game. You don't want to cool your own player off offensively. Make the defense make an adjustment. And right now they're having trouble scoring the basketball, so that's a good move to put him in at this stage, and not only put him in, but go to him.
And all the while, the Huskies have made their last 4 shots from the field on a 10-2 run. There's Hampton. Bodied up by Brian Ammoning. Still got the ball up and drew the foul. That's a pretty good job by Hampton to draw that.
That's to establish great position on the right box, and he did just that. Nice job taking it to the middle and just seeking out contact. He's not worried about making the shot.
See Hampton with the off arm that time. Gave him a little something. So Brian Ammoning will leave, having picked up his second personal foul. Brockman will come back into the Washington lineup. Hampton converts the first free throw. He's got a very nice rotation at the line.
Those are just his 4th and 5th free throws of the season. So he's gone from 66% to 80%, just like that. 4 out of 5 this year.
Beaver's perfect at the line so far today, 6 of 6.
And I like the energy that Oregon State is playing with right now. I mean, they've had their little drought. They've had trouble scoring the basketball.
A skip pass for Appleby, and Marcel Jones jumps out on him. Appleby, nice lead for Brockman. Brockman couldn't get it to go. Omari Johnson did just enough and held his ground, and now bodies falling everywhere.
A lot of contact inside. Jay John thought it was a pretty good defensive play on the part of Marcel.